Okay, beach nourishment is our first example of soft engineering. So again, reminding you of that definition, using natural materials. The material we're going to use is sand. Remember, a beach is a natural barrier to the destructive waves that we have talked about. Okay? Nourishment means to kind of really add to in this sense. I personally think it's a terrible idea. It's a definition of unsustainable. But what you do is you transport, so again, here's a lorry being filled with sand, okay? Hope you can see. It's being filled with sand. What's going to happen is you will transport it in the opposite direction of longshore drift, okay? And you will dump it. Then longshore drift will take place. Here's your swash, and here's your backwash. And you're back to square one. So this is the reason I don't love it, is that you have to spend all of this energy, often in the form of fossil fuels, to get sand and take it all the way back to A. Longshore drift will transport it back to B. And you're constantly doing the dog chasing its tail. Okay? The advantage of this is it's a natural solution, and it allows the beach to kind of stay beautiful, okay? So if I'm a tourist and I come to this area with my camera, it still looks beautiful, you know? So if I've got a hotel here, this is a 5-star hotel, I'm happy. The beach looks natural, the tourists are happy. The people that live here are happy because the beach remains that natural defense. Who's not happy? For me, the taxpayer. Constantly having to pay out for beach nourishment, okay? A short-term solution. That is beach nourishment. It's quite simple. You need to know longshore drift, transporting sediment, and the beach as a natural buffer, okay? Quite a nice one to write about, if I'm honest. Okay. An exam question of us applying coastal management techniques into our writing. So here is our question. As always, we need to bug it. Box the command word, which is examine. It's not a very common exam word, but for me, you can substitute it for explain, okay? So check out my exam masterclass videos on explain if you need some support with that. We then see that advantages and disadvantages must be mentioned, so it must be balanced. And for me, this means that the connective we're going to need is however, because that allows us to talk about the advantages before bringing in the disadvantages. And it's about coastal defences. So this is the image. I'm going to flash it up quickly, pause it and have a look in detail as to what you think the coastal defences are. I'm going to break it down here. I personally don't love this image. My eyesight might be going, but the only ones I'm sure I can see are groins. The rest are kind of up to interpretation. There's some gabions there maybe. But to me that looks like beach nourishment, but I can't really be sure, so I'm a bit nervous about writing that in the exam. But the ones I'm sure are groins. There's potentially a seawall back here as well. Your eyesight might be better than mine. I don't love this image because it's not so clear. So let's check the mark scheme and see what we could have written. If we look at the mark scheme, we have got jumping out is seawalls, rock groins. I think this is some rock armor as well, and sediment may be being used to add sediment. Terrible sentence, but that's beach nourishment. So I think you're in the clear if you write about beach nourishment and groins, seawalls as well. Okay, so remember I said there are lots like rock armor, but if you remember 4, you should be in the clear. There is some AO3 and AO4. That's basically your point, and then your second is your application. So your use of connectors really gets you the AO4 marks. So what I'm going to say is this is your structure. Your point developed 3 times, and here at the bottom, however, to provide you with that disadvantage. Okay? I'm going to write one, and I'm going to encourage you to finish the essay, write the second paragraph or the second 3 sentences, and post it in the comment section, and then I'll be able to give you some feedback if I can find the time, which I should be able to. So let's get into my version. I did it on beach nourishment because I like talking about it. I'm confident in that. So one type of coastal defense in the image is beach nourishment. This is my point, everything else that I write is going to be linked to beach nourishment because sediment is being added to the beach by the digger. So I'm showing that I'm using the resource to add the information in, okay? Keyword being sediment. So let's then apply it. Let's get those AO 4 marks for our application. As a result, the sediment is being removed by the destructive waves and longshore drift is being replaced. Okay, so I'm using my understanding of the process, destructive waves, longshore drift replaced. Okay, well that's all positive, isn't it? I'm showing that there is a natural process that is being kind of replaced by humans, and that's all great. So let's look at the however. However, this is unsustainable. Nice tier 2 word. Unsustainable means a pattern of behavior that can't be continued. It's unsustainable. And as it will need to be continuously replenished. We talked about in the video of the dog chasing its tail. This is what I kind of tend to think of as a metaphor for beach nourishment. You know, how long are you going to do this for? Are you going to do this forever? Okay. For me, that is enough to get 4 marks. And then if I write a second piece similar to this using the same connectives, I reckon I can get myself 8 out of 8. Okay, so have a go, post it in the comment section, and then see if you can get 100%. Like and subscribe for future videos. Check out the masterclass series on exam technique, and good luck in those GCSEs in the final few weeks.